Stormwood and Associates is a production of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. For more podcasts from actual play to true crime to witchcraft, go to nerdandtie.com or join our community on Discord by finding an invite at nerdandtie.com/discord. In pursuit of a stolen magical object, Stormwood and Associates Field Team 623 stepped into a tear between realities and vanished. They found themselves trapped in another plane, facing a reality that was not their own, and driven to avoid dark forces they don't understand. And so, Team 623 finds themselves leaping from world to world, striving to put right what they find wrong, and hoping each time that their next jump will be the jump home. Stormwood and Associates stars Celeste Star Twin as Dee, Gen Proc as Obi, Trey Dorn as Amy, and Becca Johnson as Liz Stormwood. Previously on Stormwood and Associates.
In the last episode, Regency Liz's maid Moira finally showed up and told everyone, like, hey, my girl Elizabeth's been kidnapped. We need to go save her. Our Liz gave everyone death-proof wards and got a sword. The team went to the inn and busted in on the very handsome highwayman Luke and found the missing Elizabeth. And then they decided to team up with the very handsome highwayman Luke to steal valuables from the mansion house because, in his own words, sod the rich.
Yeah, no, we're on board. I mean, so who are we going to rob? Are we going to rob the Stormwoods or are we going to rob the, God, what is Obi's last name?
Prism. The Prisms.
The Prisms.
Yep.
His last name is Prism? How have
Yep.
I not remembered that?
Because we don't say his full name very often.
Yeah, I have it in my, I see this in my notes as Obi.
Oh, yeah. No, his full name is Obadiah Winston Harvey Prism.
Yeah, so are we going to rob the Prisms or are we going to rob the Stormwoods?
Well, I suppose the Prisms. Because they've got the big house right there.
That's true. Where do the Stormwoods live? I'm assuming by your silence. Hey, Elizabeth, where do you live?
Also, where do you keep the good shit?
I mean, we're in an indie. We don't, like, there's... The good shit is in the bar downstairs.
But I mean, like, in her house, like, you know, where
Right.
Where do they live? Where do they have the good stuff?
You haven't even let her answer where she lives, Dee.
Fine. Just...
For all we know, she lives in a different town, and they've traveled days to get here. Mostly, I just want to know if it's conveniently nearby.
Not for shit-stealing purposes, if that's why you haven't answered yet, though.
It's 100% if we would... Okay, so, like, I mean... I don't know. If the Stormwoods aren't local, then, yeah, we want to rob the Prisms. If the Stormwoods are local, but they're all over at the Prisms... then what we could do is send our Liz in to distract them and make them think that, you know, that Elizabeth Stormwood's at the party or whatever, and then but they are all staying over at the Prisms, which means they might be from out of town, and if they're in a different town where they live, then we're not going to make the trip to go rob their house. Although...
I am down to play the good old-fashioned 2 Liz enter, 1 Liz leaves.
No.
I just wanted to make a Mad Max reference. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. That's beyond Thunderdome, but you know.
Yeah, well, it's part of the original trilogy.
It's part of the franchise, but it's not the move. But Mad Max, there are 2 movies with. Okay. But here's the thing. This is my thought. It's our carriage can go very fast.
Yeah, extremely fast.
What might be a day or 2 ride for them might just take a couple hours for us.
You
I have a
would not
question.
believe what I'm feeding these horses. Yeah.
Once we get these valuable objects from whichever house, what are we going to do with them? What are you going to do with them, Mr. Hunt?
Oh, I've got a man.
You've got a man. Okay, what are you going to do with them?
He's
Sell
got a
him.
man, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fence.
He's gonna fence them.
And then what? What are you going to do with the money?
I'm assuming he's gonna buy booze, maybe a nice room for the night. You know.
Live
Oh.
comfortably for a little bit.
Yeah, and pay off my gambling debts.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. No.
What will you do with that much money?
She grew up with money, so like sometimes she takes the wrong
Oh.
side of these. Like right now, like she's as broke as the rest of us, but like she grew up in that kind of a family, so like she sometimes has maybe a little bit too much sympathy for rich people.
Yeah, basically.
So, Elizabeth comes back from the washroom where she was. Right. Have we come up with a plan?
She's concerning me that she seems more on board with us making a plan than you do, Liz.
Well, I just assumed that we, take me back to, my husband in waiting. My husband to be.
Are you sure that that's a road you want to take?
Of course
Like-
I am.
Is this like a financial thing, like a security because women can't inherit property kind of a thing?
Not at all. I've said it before. It's a love match.
Yeah, I don't, that doesn't, like, I understand that people can be different people in different worlds, and, like, it's just so alien to me.
She comes over and grabs your hand and clasps it within her own. My dear, you think too much. Let it go. Let's go.
I mean,
Elizabeth Stormwood just told someone else that they think too much. I can't.
And
Okay,
while
I'm
while
starting
you are
to like this
dumbstruck, she
universe.
holds your hand and starts to leave.
Wait, is she like pulling me to another room, or is
Yeah,
like,
she's pulling you out
okay?
Wait up there. You're my prisoner. Come back here.
It'll be fine. Keep your pants on for now. I want to see where this Elizabeth is leading me.
Oh, through the inn
What?
and out the front door
Where are we going?
to the carriage.
I'm just gonna like stop
And she kind of
and hold your head. I'm just like put the brakes on. I'm like, okay, girlie, you gotta calm down. We're gonna take you home, but not at this exact second.
Oh,
A lot of
okay.
people have put work in, and they deserve to be compensated. And then we will once that compensation is completed, return you home to your weird love match. Which again, I don't.
Great way of phrasing that. No
Well,
notes.
I've told Mr. Hunt that I'm willing to compensate. I mean, all we have to do is head to the Stormwood estate over in Moorthorpe and
Moorthorpe. Okay, how far away is Moorthorpe?
about a week's ride in the carriage.
Oh, can we do less Thorpe? That's a lot.
How many miles? Do you know how many miles it is?
50.
Oh, jeez. I actually, I could probably drive that pretty easy.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Is that a week's worth? Gen doesn't know things.
I'm Googling.
Thank you.
How far can a horse carriage travel in a day? On average, a horse-drawn carriage can travel between 10 to 30 miles a day. So, if it's a slower carriage based on the roads,
so it'd be more like 150.
I would probably put it somewhere in the middle, like 70. But yeah, it's depending on the roads and the horse.
75. You got a deal.
All right, 75. Yeah. So when you guys came to the prison estate for your party, did everybody come with you? Who's left back at the Stormwood house?
Oh, just the house servants.
But how many of those are there? Like, what do you do to keep your things safe while you're gone to prevent, someone from breaking in? I mean, obviously, we're so far away that, it's not really a risk of us to it. I'm just curious because you guys have traveled so far away and don't have an easy way, like, immediately back. How do you protect your home? You're allowed to have Liz not know the answers to my weird questions.
I don't know. I'm sure Frederick the butler has access to firearms, and surely Gregory the groundskeeper does. I mean, the
Noted. Gregory
Henry
and
the
Frederick
game
are-
warden certainly has access.
Henry too. Okay, they're all packing heat. Good to know.
But they wouldn't, be alarmed, obviously, if you walked in.
No, of course not. But it would be odd if I came back home without the rest of my entourage.
It would be odd, but, Who are the rest of your entourage?
Well, my parents, of course.
Oh, of course.
And my Moira and Amy and Dexter.
And I don't look familiar to you at all?
You're really planning to pose as my Amy?
I would never. Okay, we're gonna go back upstairs. I just grab her, I'm taking her back upstairs. Like, I'm just gonna, fireman carry Elizabeth back upstairs.
Okay.
I'm very strong.
She's very surprised.
Yep. Okay. I carry her back up to the room and, drop her on the bed.
Liz pushes past you and storms out.
Couldn't even make a good Stormwood pun there. Luke, keep an eye on her. I'm going to go talk to the other one now.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Do what
All right,
you
I'm
need to
making my
do.
way downstairs. There's a stable, right?
Liz?
Correct.
Liz? I'm chasing after
Okay.
Liz.
Going out to the stable.
I am running after Liz
are there
to
horses in there?
intercept Liz.
There are horses in there.
Have I
All right, I'm
gotten
gonna
to
start
Liz yet?
Readying a horse.
Have I gotten to Liz? I am
Liz,
getting
roll
to
me a
Liz.
D10.
She wasn't running, she was just walking quickly.
Liz, roll me a D10.
Okay. 7.
right. The horse freaks out a little bit, but you're able to calm it.
All right. I'm walking into the stables with Onyx behind me, who has, was never unsummoned, so is still here. What are you doing, Liz?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're getting on a horse to go warn people.
I'm getting on a horse to leave.
Why?
You don't get rewarded for kidnapping women.
She's fine and unharmed.
You think you know me so fucking well.
I know.
Look,
What?
you want to rob from the rich? Great. I'm on board. Let's do it. But do it for people who deserve it, not for some random asshole you're hoping to fuck.
Oh my God. So I noticed that a guy's cute. Big frickin' deal. Is that really what this is about?
What?
What, that I might be attracted to someone else?
Oh, be attracted to whoever you want to be, okay? It has nothing to do with me.
Okay, so... Oh my God. This is... Okay. I see a society right now that is constructed on the oppression of a lower class by an aristocracy. If we can relieve some of that financial pressure, why not? Why not do it?
I literally just said that.
Then what is your problem?
That you're doing it for this kidnapper.
It's a ransom scheme. They were standard. She is physically unharmed. She is unmolested. What does it matter?
You could fence these valuables and give them money to the servants. I don't know. People who deserve it.
Honestly, why? Sometimes it's just fun to do things. Sometimes it's okay to just break some rules for the hell of it if nobody gets hurt. I didn't kidnap this girl. She got kidnapped as part of a standard ransom plot in a culture.
She wanted to go back to her family, and then you picked her up and brought her back inside.
Yeah, because I wanted to, talk about stuff. Also, she's going to get in the truck. What happens when she gets in the truck, Liz?
Same thing that happened to my dress. Nothing.
Right. But you're going to take that girl who has lived in this world with these rules for her whole life and put her inside the truck where the horses are going to disappear. There's going to be glowing screens everywhere. There are firearms hidden that act in ways that she has never seen before. I'm sorry, girls walking to the truck. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
I didn't hurt her. I didn't put her in a worse situation. I didn't let her go wander off into the forest on her own because that is not a person equipped for the wilderness.
Then fine, send her out here. I can take her home. Whatever.
Just come back inside and we can talk about this. But it's really ridiculous that you just decided to storm off and not talk about this. Like, it's one thing to disagree with what we're doing. Like, fine. Like, if you think it's a shitty plan, whatever, great. But you talk about this. You don't just leave. You have a conversation with the other people in the room. We are, if anything, look, we may fuck up. We may do the wrong thing. We may make poor decisions. But we make them together, and if you don't want to do them, you tell us. You talk to us. You don't just go storm off and leave on your own. That's not safe for any of us. That's not safe for you. And guess what? In a day, we're all going to pile into that same car again and deal with whatever repercussions, and all we're doing then is making it worse. Instead of if we actually fucking communicate for once and actually, like, talk about this shit instead of running outside and getting on a horse.
Fine.
You're
Fine, let's go
on a
inside.
fucking horse.
Let's go inside. Fine.
Okay. Because no matter what we do, we should at least let D weigh in. Right now, we've left D alone with the highwayman and Elizabeth Stormwood. And Lord knows what conversation those two are having. Because, like, if anything, like, remember, I'm the responsible, law-abiding one between me and D.
D is telling Luke a story about getting drunk, shaking up beer cans, and exploding them in front of horses that she found.
Luke is entertaining D with stories of a similar manner that he's done.
But he's never seen a beer can. He knows what beer is.
He's telling stories of his drunken debauchery in various inns.
Because has canning been invented yet?
That's the. I mean, it did take some time for D to explain that.
When was
Where
canning
she
invented?
comes from, beer is in cans, and
I
thus
don't
can be
think it's
shaken up
quite
and become
yet.
explosive.
When was canning invented? Canning wasn't invented until like 1810, so there's no canning.
Yes, there is.
Oh wait, what year is this?
1815.
Oh, okay. Oh, roughly 1815.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
they would have been invented, but probably not widely distributed.
D
He's
is,
not
just,
canning beer.
D is writing this off as
Well,
being very ahead of her time in regards to canned goods.
okay, well, it's also because Regency can mean either the specific like 1811 to 1820, or it can mean like 1795 to 1837. So it's like depending on whose definition. I didn't know what year we were.
Yeah. No, I went with the
specifically.
narrower one
Yeah, that's
because it's a bit easier for me to deal with.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
D is also further elaborating on her hatred of horses.
But also, just because canning exists doesn't mean he knows about canning.
That's true.
Okay,
But-
then imagine D trying to explain canning to someone.
Well, he's probably just like, oh yeah, just put the beer in a bottle, put your thumb over it, and shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh,
Then you just,
yeah.
then you get it so it's really like fizzed up, and then you explode it in front of a horse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that sounds great. We should go try it.
we should, but I got in a lot of apparently my completely reasonable hatred of horses is unacceptable
You know-
in certain kinds of society, I've been told.
Okay, I want to stop Liz before we get to the stairs. Liz, I'm assuming based on what you just did that you're against us robbing a house, and you want to get this Elizabeth out of here, right? Like that's your vote?
I'm just saying
Well, no, okay,
that if we're
no,
going...
here, before we go upstairs, I just want to make sure that I know your position clearly, because this is, right now we've got an additional player up there, right?
Right.
So we can't have this conversation in front of him. because if the decision is to go against him, it could be very dangerous. This
That's
is
what I'm saying. The horses have it coming.
All right, so this is my thought. We go up there. I talk to Luke for a bit, and while you take Dee and Elizabeth out into the hall and have a conversation out there. If you absolutely are completely morally against the idea of completing what we were talking about up there, you and Dee is on board also. The two of you, get in the truck, blindfold Elizabeth, I guess, so we don't break her brain, but get her in the truck and drive her back to the Prism House, while I stay behind and distract Luke. Because I can get out the window.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. And also, you can drive her, like, on the off chance this doesn't work, if he gets out there on a horse and starts chasing, that truck can drive way faster than that horse of his. All right?
Okay.
Okay. He is really hot. I got distracted. Also, it's just sort of like the fun adventure of a heist. It just gets... This world has screwed me up, okay? I am just like 10 times turned around here. I met the most boring version of myself last night, and I feel like this instinctive need to like be the opposite of that person. It's like
I'm not so sure.
It's
anyway,
like meeting everything I hate about myself.
Anyway, I'm not against a heist, like I said. It just...
I mean...
This
if
heist
I'm
for
like,
him.
Here, look, I'm being rational. I'm trying to be rational. And I'm like, that might be the best decision to just get this girl to safety. You're right. I think I'm pretty safe on my own in a room with him. And my bird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Going upstairs.
Now, you just haven't met a horse that you'd liked yet. We gotta go and meet more horses.
Oh, God, that's the worst thing anyone has ever said to me. And I have been a woman on the internet. Shit. You don't know the internet.
What's...
The internet is an awful place. Don't worry about it. It's like the worst tavern you've ever been in. Like, imagine a tavern full of... So we've just walked into the room at this moment. Imagine a tavern filled with the worst people you've ever met, and then make those people 10 times worse.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
Yeah.
Stinky goose.
Yeah, it's a particular one back where we're from.
Yeah, it's a real stinky goose. That's it.
Yeah. If it's worse than the stinky goose, then it must be bad.
Yeah.
Dee, I just met the sweetest horse. I think you should meet her.
No. You know how I feel about horses.
Yeah, that's a
and
wonderful
their
idea.
existence.
Let's go.
Here, actually, Luke, could I talk to you in private for a minute, Luke?
Oh, of course
I really think you should meet this horse, Dee.
I'm bringing beer. I'm gonna shake it.
Dee,
explode it in front of the horse.
Dee, wake up, Dee.
Yes.
Could you?
Fine,
why don't you take Elizabeth here, and why don't you and Liz take Elizabeth here out into the hall, and you can all meet the horse.
I will take both Liz's, but I make no promises that I will not do something very angry in front of this horse.
Oh, come now, Dee. It won't be so bad. And Elizabeth grabs your hand and leads you out.
All right. So I close the door as they leave, I just
He
kind of-
raises an eyebrow
I lean back against
and
it.
grins.
So, we've got choices to make about how we handle this.
Sure do.
You see, I'm just going to move towards him slowly. There are two options that we could rob. There's the Prism home, which is teeming full of people and young idiot boys with swords who would look for a fight wherever they could.
Mm.
Or, and this may be a better plan, the Stormwood home is right now sitting empty.
Yeah, but it's all the way over.
I'm walking up to him. I put my hand on his chest. We have two of the fastest horses you've ever seen that pull our carriage. I could get there in less than half the time of a normal ride.
Really?
And I don't know if you've noticed the resemblance my friend has to young Elizabeth.
I did notice that.
But if we walked out of the carriage, the staff would assume that young Elizabeth had come home early and would not object to our entry.
I
Or
like the way you think.
to our exit with the goods. I don't know how far away everyone else has gotten right now. I don't know what's going on with everybody else.
I think we've probably gotten down the stairs. And okay, so
Amy politely but firmly communicated to you that snitches get stitches, right?
What?
I'm sorry.
Don't snitch. That's all I'm saying. That's what. Jesus, come on.
Snitch. What does that
what-
mean? What is
nobody's snitching.
Nobody snitch. Okay. Nobody's snitching. There's not actually a horse. What is going on?
Okay, I mean there is a horse, but that's not what. Okay, here's the thing. I feel that doing a heist on behalf of a kidnapper of women is maybe not the best thing we want to be getting involved in. So I feel that if we were to do a heist, we should do it on behalf of people who actually deserve it and are, downtrodden workers instead of, kidnappers of women. Or we just don't bring Elizabeth back and she can get married.
I don't like the "we don't do it" option. Because
I would love to do a heist. I've never done one before.
Yeah, even she
You
thinks.
just roll with everything, huh?
Sorry.
Sod the rich, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Liz is
Anyway, my point is that we don't want this guy involved.
Here.
We just don't want this guy involved, and maybe I'm thinking we should just get away from here.
I mean, we could do a heist without that guy. Like, we're still stealing. Look, these people are living in a fucking settler colonial fortune. No one got this money off of good things. No one is rich in this kind of time period without destroying entire continents. It's time that someone, preferably us, show them that there's a cost to living so large for so long off of the backs of other people.
While you two have been talking, Elizabeth kind of stole away for a minute and has now returned to you. Her eyes are shining and she's smiling, and she comes up.
Shit.
Look, I've stolen some sugar cubes. And she holds out her hand, and there's like 3 sugar cubes in her palm. We can feed them to the horse. I've already started the heist.
Fuck. Okay.
This is very fun.
Wow. You're me, huh?
Sorry.
Nothing.
The sad part is that you're becoming boring, Liz. Come, Elizabeth. We're going to teach you some heisting.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally locked the door when I was leaning on it. I just want to point this out. We don't need to roleplay what's happening up there.
Oh. We've gone in an adult direction, have we?
Yeah, that's where we were going.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Smoochy woochies and romance ahoy.
I mean, I put my hand on his chest. We can talk about where else I'm putting my hands, but we're not going to.
Hey, his breeches are skin tight.
And that belt's unbuckled. I don't know when belts were invented. I don't care.
His breeches are unbuttoned.
Amy and I were thinking that maybe we just get back to the mansion in the truck.
Fucking serious? Okay, fine. You know, it's just to ruin my... All right, whatever we do, Elizabeth, we're going to get into my carriage, and it's real, it's fucking wild. I'm gonna put it to you this way. Some of us are going to, you probably won't, but the rest of us are going to like have sudden wardrobe changes as soon as we step into that vehicle, and it's not gonna look the same on the inside as you would think from the outside. This is gonna be pretty wild.
Are you secretly a magician? Why didn't you tell me?
Yes, she is.
Yes,
Let's go.
It's very important. Harry, back in the States, doesn't want to ruin magician's code.
How lovely. All right.
That sounds
in your
like
magic
nonsense
carriage.
to me, and I'm from the same time period as you.
He's been very busy ruining spiritualists' lives. That's what he's up to. So I don't want to ruin what he's got going
That's
for
the
him.
wrong century.
He doesn't know
I
that.
know. Hey, I made a
He
Mark
listens
Twain
to
reference in a
Ghost
previous
Church.
episode that nobody got.
Do you listen to Jamie Loftus talk about ghosts on a podcast one time? It's fine.
All right.
Okay,
So the three of
so
you.
we're gonna go. Yeah.
Party. Come on, let's get in the party van. Let's get in the magic van. Very
Elizabeth
magical.
stands in front of the carriage.
Oh, right. Let me show you the door. Is this one of those ones where, like, you push the fob and the door opens? For reasons.
Well,
The outside of the
She's-
door would operate like the carriage because
Oh,
of the
okay,
way the
right.
illusion
yeah,
works.
the
Okay,
outside
so-
is the carriage.
You don't have a fob.
So, Dee opens the door, and it looks like the carriage door from the outside. All right. Hop in. Don't, like, faint or anything.
Thank
That
you
would
so-
suck.
Thank you. And she holds her hand out for you to hold as she alights into the carriage.
You're capable. You can do that. We have
Oh.
got to teach you feminism.
It's-
Anyway,
The hand holding
gonna
is just
help-
so you can easily get, so she can get in and out easy.
I have faith in her.
She's in a
Now,
dress.
Dee helps.
Thank you.
All right, Elizabeth and I both get into the back seat.
My, it's so magical in here.
It is, isn't it?
What's that?
I don't know, what is it?
And that's a cigarette lighter.
What cigarette lighters? There aren't any cigarette There's like the charge port that you could put a cigarette lighter in, but Amy doesn't own any cigarette lighters for her car. She owns a normal cigarette lighter.
Shit,
That's a USB port.
That's a USB.
USB.
Yeah, sorry, my old ass car
Ports in
had
here? Are there tiny ships inside?
You know, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. Hello. And she like does a tiny wave to the port, to the minute ships inside the tiny port.
Okay, let's go.
All right. That's. Oh wow! Wait a minute. Wrong time period, right? Like this is. Oh my god! I have to do this. Dee starts futzing with her phone and setting up Bluetooth as she starts driving, and pulls up Johnny Be Good from Back to the Future to put on the car speakers.
You're telling me that Dee has Johnny Be Good as an MP3 on her phone?
Dee is a cinephile. Dee has the entire Back to the Future soundtrack on her phone, actually.
Okay, as a person who grew up in a house with the Back to the Future soundtrack on CD in the house, I understand. It's a good soundtrack.
Oh, heck yeah.
You might not know what to think of this, Elizabeth, but your kids are gonna love it.
She's kind of just smiling and kind of like bopping along. This orchestra's very upbeat. It's nice.
So, Elizabeth, you definitely want to marry this guy?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Of course I do. He's so lovely.
Okay. He is. I'm just curious. Have you considered any of your other options?
What other options?
Just anyone else or no one else?
Look, I understand you're all very concerned for me and my heart's welfare, but I assure you, it's right and true. I do love him, and he loves me. And I'm very happy with him.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not all Elizabeths love all Brents, but in my case, I do.
Even though he has a habit of getting drunk and challenging duels?
Yes. Every man has his faults.
Okay.
Just have more duel-related faults.
Just keep in mind that it's okay to, sometimes discover things about yourself.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
I like heists. And magic. It's very fun.
Right.
Dee looks like she's
All right.
actually kind of pensively thinking about something, but decides to bite her lip and not say it. Just this once. Maybe later.
Ooh, character development.
Maybe later.
Considering they could drive significantly faster than the horses, they could probably get back to the house pretty quickly, huh?
Mhm.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Amy, are you and Luke still occupied?
So, okay. While occupied, I'm going to suggest a little fun casting Immobilize on him.
Oh.
Because guess what spell has a
He's
100?
into that.
If it's consented to, the spell has a 100% success rate.
And you're suggesting this as a fun part to the hanky panky,
That's already been going on. Yes.
right? Then yeah, he would probably consent
Yeah, that's
because he
my
likes
hope.
you and your weirdness.
Yeah, and so when we're done, I'm going to leave him immobilized and get dressed.
Oh, wait.
That was a lot of fun. You're really good there. Anyways, so change of plans. We decided to take care of some stuff on our own. Good luck to you next time, and hope you have a wonderful life, I guess. Good job, though. Thumbs up. And I just sort of like sit on the windowsill, and I fall backwards out the window and fly away. With my bird behind me.
And he is left by himself,
I'll let it wear off in like an hour or two.
cursing. But he's like,
I don't know what he's got to complain about. He had a good time.
yeah, exactly. He's kind of like, dang, she really got me there. Man, I really admire her.
Worth it.
Yeah, hashtag worth it, you know?
This man is going to be obsessed with me, and he'll never see me again, and then he'll run into other Amy someday and just really get the wrong idea. Create some real Class A awkwardness, but, you know. And also the bird probably watched the whole time, but that's just going to happen. The bird's a part of my subconscious. Can't really stop it.
That means he watched it and liked it.
It's a bird. Stormwood & Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com/Stormwood. You can also find us on social media at Nerd and Tie on Twitter, nerdandtie.tumblr.com, and facebook.com/nerdandtie. This podcast can be subscribed to on anywhere that major podcasts are found: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and quite a few other places, and anywhere that takes an RSS feed as well. Hey, while you're still here, let me tell you about another podcast on the Nerd and Tie Network, and that's Let's Be Legendary. Let's Be Legendary, the Feywild West, is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play game, so an actual play game like this one, but like, you know, in a system people actually use in the real world. Set in a homebrew Wild West steampunk world, the Feywild West follows two people discovering what it means to be in a relationship, all the while seeking revenge and learning the truth of their pasts. Let's Be Legendary podcast is an LGBTQ+ podcast with both main and minor characters, as well as players falling under the queer blanket. A heavy RP game with a focus on story and characters. And you can hear it every week here on the Nerd and Tie Network, and you can find all of their subscription information and links at nerdandtie.com/legendary.